about something that came out in one of my last readings, and that is the calculator and the pull function. Oh, here, let me see. Let me just unlock this. Okay, great. All right. So this is the calcium and portal functions that we had talked about, or sorry, carbon. So in the last video at the very end, we had pulled up the calculator and I said, oh, there's like some new carbon stuff that I can go play with. I started like jotting down some stuff and taking notes about what this was, right? So this is like a carbon gate. Now, when we're talking about like different types of carbon, like, oh, I thought you can go high in carbon, like carbon 1, 2, 3. That's like striations of carbon. Then there's different types of carbon, right? In the set of carbon, like charcoal's not the same as tesquite, but it's a carbon. Aha, exactly. The you can get from certain plants that no longer exist or certain minerals is not the carbon that you're going to get in like Aztec clay. So they're different ones. So it's not that, because that's like carbon 1 through 4, then this and that, right? And then Tesquite to carbon, it's like carbon set 1, and then it goes up to 888, and then Tesquite through charcoal is like carbon 2, spiral set 1 through 80, 888. There's a new door gateway completely where a lot of you guys need to go ahead and change, accept the change to your physical form, to this newest carbon, so that they can't play with magic. What they did was, or this virtual reality that they played with that made everything out of control. People are going to see just how far this went. One of the major things that had happened is that they played in the before space, like, oh, starting different wars and causing different chaoses and starting too much. And like, oh, look, they'll make this form, they'll get this form, that type of body, this type of aquatic form, or that type of aquatic form, etc. They were playing in the before space, like, oh, we know that this will come and be created in this space. So we know the dream space is an anything space too, because it's like a portal, so you can see anything. That's a spiritual reality, the dream state. So we'll go and tie a Kukulai space by playing with somebody's DNA. And I'll tie this Kukulai space because I went to go play in my dream space. I got an equation for that, tied it to like blank carbon, turned that into Kukulai space. Now I'm tying it here and there to go play with people so that when they're breaking magic or reversing things or this and this and this and that, so when they're going to go do this and this and that, what ends up happening here is that they are stuck to this chemical server or under this magic, etc. No matter what they do, magic. Right? This is one of the levels of magic that they planned years and years and years to create this planet. That's what I'm saying. This planet is just a manifestation of who was playing with spell work. They have no fucking clue that there's like a future planet where Dwananir and them are. And like people will bring their bodies down there. Like, what do you mean I'm going to be a rapper in this year and this year because I was playing with a specific herb, and that's just going to expose this whole federation what we were doing behind the scenes. Okay, yeah, and just going out and about and stuff like that. Trap songs that are being sang now, we're blasting across that planet like the 1904. See, it shows who's playing in slavery and how you went to go get a body and what's going to end up happening when you get this body. So they didn't know that there's one of those that exists. It exists as like a way for checks and balances, like in the universe. This place will be formed, and through whatever faculty, whether that's image, light body, color, aquatic form, etc., you'll be able to see who created a misnomer all the way over there, or an isomer, right? So an isomer is also, a lot of people don't know, like when they're saying like isomers, in chemistry, like we'll say hyperdimensional chemistry, it's just like a speech. Like, oh, look at this isomer. This tells me that this is this type of speech. Like, oh, look at these industrial chemicals. It has this type of isomer. This lets me know I can use this in the hospital, or this lets me know that this is like for like autopsy sites, right? Or like crime sites. That would be like an isomer. But an isomer can turn into a misnomer if you keep on misnaming things and misclassifying things and putting them in different databases. This is where we get the octopus. So because I saw that portal function, I was like, okay, this is dope. I changed up the chemical sequence, and then I put like a layer on my apartment. Like, okay, this can still have that chemical sequence until I can work all these things out, but it's going to end up being under this carbon space, right? A new carbon space. So I found like 6 new of these spaces. And then what I did was I put an environment around like a new carbon space around the environment of that fish of the FBI and others, so that they would stop like being able to send out a signal, because the signals that they're sending out are made out of a certain substance, right? And it's from space. This is where you get this rat bitch. Oh, look at the oldest aquarium fish. Starting hella shit. Rat bitch getting smacked in space, coming on spaceships and starting shit. So now what ended up happening here is she said, well, I have a name. Yeah. We'll make it indigenous and say Ratburn. You already tried that in Harry Potter. So now what's happening here is you guys are going to approve all that and then approve the change to the carbon of your Akasha. See, we did an upgrade, but the upgrade was in carbon set 1 through whatever. So there's actually an expansion of this planet and of the Akasha and of your physical form, right? Hi. Oh, you look oh, did you change your color in your skin, or you didn't bleach your skin? It's like you're more like shiny, or you're more holographic. Like I see more gold tint, like stuff like that's going to start happening with melanated indigenous people, just to show that you had your expansion, right? So, right, all of that. So this is one of the ways that I want to showcase that in regards to like a new carbon and like an upgrade is like this peppercorn hash that I made. And this peppercorn hash, why it's important. Okay. Okay, so we have this, like, oh, look at that. It's a reflective, right? So I want to so, right, look at that. A new type of carbon was created through this chemical reaction just being on this planet. Like, oh, I'm here. Let me friends, because you're not used to my like element. I could create a destabilization. So that's usually how it happens, right? Like in space, like, oh, something gets created or something happens or a child is born. Usually a child is born and then boom, right? And the 3 wise men came to the stable, like basically saying like this constellation came over here at this time of birth, and we were able to like latch onto his Akasha by saying that we were reading Akasha. And I want you to look at this peppercorn. Look at, oh wow, this from space. This doesn't look like regular peppercorn, but this is like honeybee pepper though. They use this to make like one of the original honeybee. That's done now. That's done. They got this from space. It's done, right? Some of them are even colored. It's different. This one is like the more psychedelic one. The other peppercorn that's on the planet that they grind down and create black pepper, etc., that is not psychedelic. It's not connected to a psychedelic channel, but it is connected to a savory channel, right? So her older sister is a psychedelic, so I got this on the planet. Otherwise, I couldn't be able to make it. And because I went through a hash reaction, it brought out a new carbon. But look at that. That's so beautiful. Look at the gold flakes. And this is where we get talking about this rabbit snowflake, this Seminole rabbit. He wasn't to go play games and starting too much. I'm going to go a little bit into that and what that means for them opening psychedelic channels on the planet that's allowing a bunch of people to get fucking moved from this planet, right? So then I told you guys that there's like an organization of this space. So there's like 8 sets, right? So you have the indigenous reality. So you have 8 realities, right? So I'll say 1. They're interchangeable. Like they're interchangeable. Just because you're in one doesn't mean that you're in another, right? So you have like you can have the crystal reality. Yeah, that is them playing with the virtual reality in my ear. So there's the thank you. No, crystal reality. Then we have the indigenous, and then we have like the chemical. Then there's the aquatic, which is interconnected with the indigenous, but not necessarily, right? So when we say aquatic, when if you're aquatic, you're always indigenous. These are all indigenous, but these are just like different realms and different like dimensions, right? So the Seminole is itself, and that's just not chemical, but it will be like we would call dazuaye, like plant warfare, plant wars. And not all war is a bad word. Like, okay, look, had we never gone to that planet, we got into this psychedelic channel. Look at this, that happened. I got destabilized. If I'm gonna really get lit, and then I want to make sure I want to stay stable. So when I make different hashes, I put this ite so I don't like leave the planet. That's how I can like be in different like psychedelic states and not like crazy because this planet's a little disgusting because I can see something better. Right? And this is where you get like bitches so debilitated they have to like try to create the whole entire environment and society as like a delusional, disgusting disgusting. For you to actually be human, like a full human, you need to be carbon 8. Your mind debilitated you. I can run the fuck out of you. And this is where we get into Palestine and Israel. Some of you guys are activists to know about these people. Tell them you own the Akasha for these people. Start working this magic. We're gonna work the fuck out of it. There's there by water, that dirty ass water. There's a portal because they had a bunch of bodies there. Let's activate that. There's sand too. Perfect. Let's activate that and create a specific force of physics. Why haven't they done this before though? Because remember, they locked up the Akasha and then they used our Ka because of the food system to create a barrier around the planet, which broke a lot of magic and teleportation from like thousands of years ago started happening when they opened that virtual reality. They should have never done it. They did it on purpose. But if we do this though, it will make us get to our mates faster. Otherwise, they're gonna have to go through this war. This whole entire war could take like 5 years because they were hiding hella shit and causing hella drama. Right. So then they had to tell, but we will tell that how we were playing with this aquatic being and that one. They already know though. Let's go. We had our chance to clean up. We might as well tell everything. So you have the crystal, indigenous, chemical, aquatic, ascended master, the language, right? The language realms. You go force of physics where you get like your hair as a spiral and stuff like that. So that's where we get like my neighbor. Hey, Jason, I just want to let you know I'm recording this white man next door. The minute like you got online, they started blasting a bunch of noise. So I'm taking this to my job to show why you're still in virtual reality, because they think that they're gonna kill and traffic a black woman to go play with the computer. It's not even about that. They just want to like make it seem as if they weren't sticking their dick in their mom and then sticking their dick in people's kids. Thank you. That's beyond that. That's just like a fantasy in their mind. The thought of it brought this open, brought this down here. Oh, you want to play? Warfare herbs, right? So now who's an Anuak? Because how did I get that peppercorn? It's Alamene. It's like a road that you walk on and things open. Oh, it says Ross. It's still Alamene. You walk down an aisle and it's still Alamene, right? Right? So now you have the force of physics realm, and then of course we have like the Guacatazi realm. Guacatazi. Then they have the crystal realm. And then ascended master realm, where your form, you come in different forms. Sometimes you're like pure light or just a face moving. So this whole reality scape has been completely upgraded. There's, for the first time, there's like an organization around it because of how they went going back and forth playing with different reality scapes, starting too much shit. So this space was finally fucking organized. This is like unprecedented. So now like, okay, this actually has like a coding. It has like a binary code, like how you have like a QR code and shit like that. It has like a specific like coding that we can now like access all at once. Like, oh, I can just go in the Akasha for this now, in the master database for that now, instead of using this spell and that magic and that herb and this and this and this and this and that, just right. And this is where you get different holes like playing with different bodies and going back and forth, because some of these run not parallel, but they run as a base and then parallel and then in conjunction to other forms. Like the crystal reality is like in everything, but then you can always find the crystal reality in the chemical reality. But in some plants, you don't find the chemical reality. You find the indigenous and language or crystal. And then from there, you can get to the chemical reality. You see, that's all been organized because of how white people want to go fucking play games. And I said, you want to envision this reality. Let me go call a demon that deals with that bullshit. So that demon came down here and set this whole reality so straight. We're able to bring forth a new carbon, and we can bring forth new plants and bring bunch of shit. But you're not telling, how is she playing with that peppercorn and one other herb and she's getting gold? That's gold. Thank you. Thank you, because that's a light band. Some of you guys saw like the lights. Some of you guys that know like cannabis and stuff like that. Look at the crystals. Look at this hash, or look at this. Right, terpenes and like, yes, like terpenes. Yes, those are like pure terpenes. Those are pure terpenes. Those are the mother of terpenes. Like what we get on the planet with terpenes, those are like pentagons and like half baked hexagons. We're not really getting the full breadth of what we can with terpenes, because that Akasha is luck because of what they first did with it. To expand aromatics. It was like a free form, like base. So if you just put this cannabis in here, then you put all this other stuff, you're gonna get this and this and that. All right, like, oh, you get aromatics, like their scent, and expand their psychedelic channel with the aromatic. And then guess what? Come spray this perfume. Because cannabis used to be a free form. Like there's a way that they would process it. It didn't smell like anything. There you go. And that's what they were playing with. That's why that got closed down. And they don't know that we know how this stuff has broken on the planet because of white people and playing with stupid, goofy rat bitches that got banished in space that are gonna get smacked the fuck out with an ESP equation that you need to put on your ESP body so that you can reach any type of form. Because that's how far I went with the ESP. Like, oh, we won't be able to survive. They're getting too angry with the ESP. They've even automated it. So they went to go play that far. That's what I'm saying. You guys have to see that they went to go play with aliens. Because how can you get that far? Because if you're not getting that far in chemistry and we're not getting better drugs and stuff like that, you're not able to do something. So who's playing? That's why you're not understanding this place. This being on every day is showing that you're playing with some type of being that's in a different planet or different dimension that's operating white supremacy as trying to be the master reality. That's not possible. White supremacy compared to this reality, imagine like this is like the whole reality and it got recoded. White supremacy is not even like a pea drop. It's not even visible on this paper. And it's trying to overcompass the whole reality by playing on this planet. It's not possible. You're just going to get smacked out. And that's what they've been doing for years, playing with different people of color, starting shit, lynching, Malcolm X, stuff like that to try to create a response big enough to try to get at least like maybe one part here and here. It's not possible. Even with seafood trafficking, didn't even hit. Even with the trafficking of the sacred beings, the cow, eating chicken, all that type of stuff, didn't even hit. Even in the act of the consummation of the filthy pale one, the original form swine, it didn't even hit. It not even didn't even hit. And this is the last level of this war right here with these carbon gates opening because they're starting too much shit and they're giving license for people of color to smack them out in any reality, period. So I want you to go ahead and upgrade that to like a new carbon altogether. A new sequence altogether, your enforcer Akasha, all your systems, because this is what it's coming to, because now you've learned about all these different systems, now you can easily just go, oh, that's coming from here. Let me just go to the master reality coding for me and all my kids and stuff like that, instead of going back and forth and back and forth. A lot of you guys, me and my twin, and other people taking notes and stuff like that, watching my Patreon, we suffered and did a lot of this for you guys behind the scenes while they were doing this because we knew that I'm sitting on the street homeless with my kids out. I'm not going to get any of that. Here, let me help you with all these reality codings. Okay, look, I got a call back for a housing interview. They said that they got a bunch of units open automatically. They want to pick and choose like who's the most like needy. Stuff like that, like overnight. And that's what they were using to create poverty. Poverty is a chemical sequence that they built into our like DNA through food from starting slavery. And the first round to Biafra and shit like that and putting it on the land and causing chaos and starting too much shit with goofy bitches with no melanin. So then what we're going to do here is like now that we've done that, you're coming more into like a specific awareness. Like, okay, I'm on planet Earth, but I have a planet body. I am a planet somewhere. I'm a body that's a planet carrying certain chemical sequences that will run to certain bodies at a time. In my crystal reality, oh, I have that planet. Oh, look at all my crystal bodies. They're doing well. I'm still here all the way up. I have all my crystal bodies. Oh, okay. I ate pork down here and I didn't tell about, what I knew about my brother Amias. So I lost my crystal body, but look, I'm all the way up in the indigenous reality. I'm even still speaking here. Okay, let me go clean this up. All right. No, okay, look at this chemical reality. Okay, dope. I'm an Azteca. That means I just beat the fuck out of somebody. I changed your chemical reality. Okay. Yeah. I'm from 89. I just had to say where I was from. Hey, sister. Yeah. So in the chemical reality, right? But I have that chemical reality all the way up. But now there's a new gate that has opened. So one door has opened leading to another gate. And then another gate has opened here. And another gate has opened here because everyone saw what they did with these octopus children. So now different beings can now send things down, but instead of doing that where you have to create junctions, let's say for instance you're doing this, you would have to create junctions, which we talked about on Patreon. This is where your work comes in. These junctions, I fucked on one nigga in the 90s, Daisy, and they trailed that to every other nigga that I messed with because of the zodiac. And I don't know why I keep on attracting the same nigga. And like I almost debilitated myself because I said I figure maybe it's my zodiac, but they were playing with junctions. Then they tied herbs and stuff like that from like Bisquick or the pancakes I ate or different places that I ate. And the next thing you know, I have like this spiral around me and it's blocking me from doing this and that. Junctions, because they can bring higher magic from other places like that to play with you. And that's what these hoes thought that they were going to be doing. Seidel, go and tell your brother what you got involved in. This is what they thought that they were going to be doing, playing with junctions, spirals in between from your children's hair and the dream state, portals in between. I'm just going to say like a portal like this, right? Guacatazi in between with their crystal. I'm just going to go like this and say, right, a star, a 5-pointed star, right? Sorry, not to, there's still trauma from that and what they started, right? Trying to take a 5-pointed star or a pentagon and then binding octopus and other things like that to try to make it a specific shape in another place to play with those people to get more magic to come down here, like goofy shit. Goofy like rat bitch, I'm on meth nonsense. And then putting the intelligence of a high priestess that's an Azteca or an Aries from planet Earth. So, okay, well, I'm proper in my warfare. No, you're not. You're schizophrenic in your warfare. Then you're using the intelligence to keep going. That's what all these bitches are doing. They're taking meth or putting meth in people's kids so they can create junctions, because meth is a crazy ass nathoroid. So it's a nathoroid here. This is a pentagon here, right? Up here, it can be like half a pentagon, like bitten in. Up here, it's like the same thing, but they're building junctions all the way down. So that now has broken because we've opened up a new carbon space, right? So because we opened up like this new carbon space, what this new carbon space can give you a body where you guys are surreal. You guys have seen like movies like, this is so surreal. Surreal is actually a substance. It's a state of mind. It's how people exist in a reality. Certain flowers can only exist in a surreal state. That's why on hot summer days, that flower is beautiful. I never even saw you like that. Surreal. Or she can be surreal. Another type of force of physics where I'm more crystal, like where you holographically like, oh, you're so shiny and pink, that's beautiful. I can see stuff like that in my dream. When you go in the dream and like, why am I touching you physically, or what am I eating in the dream? That's surreal. That's a specific plant to create that space. They get a piece of carbon, go into your dream space or play with your child, or because you looked at something online, they play with your eyes, and then they send those carbon rays, and then you start going into the dream state because that carbon hits all the way into the Kugeldeiner space and gets into your dream state. This is the game that they thought they were going to play. That's done. When people see this in mass, they're going to start murdering you. So then you get surreal, like surreal. Then you get surreal, like borealis, right? Like borealis, surreal. And then you get sorrel, like the drink. And sorrel was a psychedelic, and that's how they destroyed this on the planet. Sorrel. We're no longer surreal because we no longer have sorrel. Oh, okay. Okay, well, isn't this the fight that we're still fighting in the islands now over sorrel and gingerade and soursops? Listen, so then what I'm doing here now is, now that I have access to that portal function, because I was playing in the calculator, and the calculator said, oh, catch you later, cackle later. Like, it's like a joke, like cackle later, calculator. Give me my calculator, because later I'm going to be cackling. That's how Black women used to deal with it. Oh, but you think you're sick? Look, give me that calculator. Oh my God. So now, right, we're going to go ahead now and change up the substance that makes up this reality coding. I'm going to do like SUI number 8. Perfect. People have to agree to that. Thank you. If we can get like 3 more enforcers to agree. Perfect. It goes. Now we need a quorum. Because before I was just like doing it with your hand and then like, okay, you will find out later because you're going to teach, I'm going to teach, or you're going to study, or you're going to get downloads. I created a download system for everyone that's working. So like if I'm doing certain works for you, upon waking up, you will hear something loud. Hello, you have a specific message from High Priestess. Hey, High Priest, I just want to let you know, she lives on 84th and Bancroft. Hello, High Priest. No, she lives by the Church's Chicken. If you turn, she's going to be at that corner store. She lives in the apartments down there. Don't go by Church's. They have a secret camera. Go in the back streets. No, the other back streets. Like before that back street by that park. That's how you're going to get her ass. Okay. Oh my God. Right. Like, so we're doing downloads like that. Hello, High Priest. I just want to let you know that you were taking a specific chemical for like an ailment that you had. Like I heard that I had like a liver or gut something. Like my gut, wasn't like properly like populating peptic acid. So I was having stomach issues because my food wasn't digesting. That was just nonsense that they were putting in your food and playing with your fire intelligence because you ate cinnamon. So instead of the cinnamon being reactive and like another addition to your gastric juices, they deactivated it as if it was like baking soda or baking powder to deactivate a fire. And that's how you started getting stomach issues. Thank you, Mr. Jim Cooper. So now it's that drug that I took. Now they're binding it with magic. Let me go ahead and just change the chemical sequence, the carbon of my management system. I'm going into this whole space. You need a whole new chemical like system to attack me here. That's all closed. And this is why they had, once again, junctions. Because if that's not the case, why are they playing with people's kids and doing this goofy shit? And it's imperative on that we breathe something in or eat something. Because this is not finite. What they're doing, they thought this was going to be infinite, that they were going to be playing and starting hella shit. That's done for. They're all about to be murdered. A lot of them are getting taken off the planet because we opened up the teleportation shaft. All I need is a drawer and a picture of this planet in circle form. Complete, like the whole planet in just one circle. That's it. That won't work. And that's it. In a jar with certain liquids, aka water demons, and that's really just it for the planet. And I'm going to do that this week. There's something that I need to go find. The cartel just brought it from another country. Woo. Well, you wanted me on EBT, so I started exploring. What can I buy with this? Oh, herbs. Okay. At my favorite market, Zion Market, because that's where I get all my cheap like mushrooms from. So I fuck with them. Thank you, Zion Market. This is in Copart, sponsored by them, because I got the different mushrooms to make psychedelics to get to this point from their store, and they put it on sale. I got 5 for $5, and that's really dope because they're usually like $5.99 a pack, $4.99 a pack. They were just sick selling them. They were trying to get them off. Woo! I bought a bunch of them, like bags and bags and bags. Whoa! Yeah, so the cartel's overstacked, right? Yeah, because someone got their weight stolen. It's okay, Queen. I know you're about to be on. We're about to re-up. Yeah, you're about to re-up right there. You're going to be okay. So, right, your bodies are made out of a certain carbon and element. You're going to upgrade that. Your body is made out of, like, you have certain before spaces and stuff like that, right? Like the before space, like, oh, the before space is really for premonition and divination. Like, before this can hit this space, it tells me what's going to do. They put something in that space. This will be here as an equation or reaction or spiral, in fact, impacting the whole entire space. Right. So before your body forms, before you become a female on this planet, before you become like a high priestess in this planet, which comes with a certain flower in your vagina, that flower will have a spiral or a chaos in the before space. That's how they created slavery. They targeted all high priestesses with a specific flower in their pussy, vidi con duinai. So this is now what's coming out with you guys playing too much games and bitches with long ass nails and can't wipe their ass in the 80s and 90s with long ass like hot pink nails and other magenta nails and shit like that playing with that flower. Oh my God. Yeah. Is there any retribution? Yeah. I have a purse I called. Some of you guys saw it, like this pink purse on my hip. Somebody saw that in space and said, how did that happen? So you're going to go ahead and you're going to change all that. And then you guys have like aquatic anatomy. You're going to change all that because there's a whole other set for the aquatic anatomy. It's not carbon. But you need to get past that 8 junction to get there to even change that up. And this is where we get like, there's checks and balances everywhere. So even me bringing this stuff down to planet Earth, my higher self went through warfare, did this, did that. They're fighting over this. Oh, you get that if you have this type of child. Like you give birth to this type of child, that means you fought a certain type of warfare. So you guys have been going out and creating different wars to create certain type of children or have certain type of attributes against this type of war coming. So you can play on planet Earth. Yeah, like as like, oh, look at what I created, my speech, my that. By starting hella shit, that's very forbidden what they did. It's very fucking forbidden. It's the unthinkable what they did and the unforgettable. They're really getting into like shit right here. That's what these hoes have no melanin, they have to hide. So when people saw calico hoes, that's how you guys are living on the planet? Wow. Ooh. So this is done. Those realities have been upgraded. Now you can go into the other ones. Just stab her with the ESP. Some bitch sitting on the computer with the mustache that doesn't know she's a Neanderthal. She only has sex with white men. And it's usually the ones that have sex with their mother. And this is where we get into like a specific type of reality coding where I can put a certain carbon on you and all this magic that we've been like trying to bring down junctions for and open certain portals for and gateways for, because the magic that they used to create white people came from over there. It's like a demonic ass like space that was like closed. Somebody put their hand there like real quick, destroyed 1,000 federations, but hid it in an aquatic being that they set this up years ago because she has a certain freeform space. So I can store it here, but it destroyed a certain type of aquatic being in Guacatazi that you'll never see. So now that bitch is going to the Duat with her children, that's done. So now they can get hit with a specific type of reality coding because the chemical server, the junction's coming all the way down. That's why these bitches they're mentally ill. And that's why they think it's okay what they're doing. That's why when you see that police officer Welch running back and forth on the computer playing with Aaron and she's acting like that, that's the type of mental illness I'm talking about. It came from another place. That chemical sequence for a white bitch to be eating the umbilical cord of a black woman, a priestess, and think that she now is one. That's a severe transgression. That came from like around here. There's about 8 more junctions, but it came from around here. Because these are the first 1, 2, 3. So they know what aquatic being like to go attack now. We organize this. It's war now. Good. So now, because we played like that, some of the other things that we can go ahead and do, right? Like I said, more black magic to like cause unnecessary chaos. Come join. Right? So now you can upgrade all your systems. Like I'm upgrading every toenail, every hair follicle is going to put to, this is a good one. But we're also aquatic. And now it's the type of body that they brought. Oh, I brought her flower body. They will never be able to figure this out. We can. Because it's like how long your period is and what age you got your period. Wow. And how you respond. Right. So a lot of women that like fell off like, oh, like I'm like brown skin. I started dating this white guy. I thought I was like also mixed or like some other bullshit like that. I don't know, like something like that. Kamari B. Jones, they love to play with them and turn them into sellouts in the office. They had a flower that they came with. Some of us, I came with the octopus and a serpent. That they had to bring that. They had to run the number sequences to confuse the octopus. to release that egg. That's why some of you guys have to see what they brought you down here with. And that's going to dictate like a lot. So now that that's done, it's all aquatic in one realm, but all of it is also serpentine. Some of those flowers are serpentine themselves. If you have a rabbit, you know for a fact that serpentine, so just go to the serpentine database. That's number 16, Korowazanai. So it's not carbon, it's Kuozokornaguarbin. There's carbon with the C, carbon with this Q, carbon with the QK, this quizarbin, this quizaranorbin, this curbin. So now let's say, for instance, we want a new pharmaceutical space. I can get like a whole bunch of carbon or tesquite. Say, oh, you're in this space, you're in Corbin, you're in this other alternative space. Let me program you. You take this and it overpowers your entire body. No need to play with plants. That's done for phytochemicals. Let them rest. You're like doing way too much, like trafficking them. Like, what the fuck, bitch? Did I tell you I want to like be pine sol forever? I like other things. I could be a psychedelic. Who knows? I could be good like perfume. Ugh. Oh my God, why are you eating me as jam? And like, what the fuck? I'm not supposed to be on bread with peanut butter. Somebody eating like pine, like a jam or something. I was like, oh, you guys are doing too much, trying too hard to make it seem like you know something about herbs. That's how you poison yourself. You don't need to do all that, baby. Because people didn't even know I knew all this. Ooh, yeah, I know how to make tinctures. I know how to make tinctures out of tesquite too. There's like a certain disease going around because of Chiong. It's a specific ginger that you turn into hash with a certain type of dandelion as an aster. It gives you like a brand new body so that the body that you have can recover while you completely get shifted out of that body and into a new one, because that's total damage. Yeah, and then you can get like the hash, like the dry hash, like the mealy part of it, right? And you can go ahead and ferment it wet or dry with a certain type of cazadores as the reactant and recover your whole entire blood or get high as the fuck. And when you take it, it tastes like as if you're like smoking like alcohol. Like, ooh, you know when you take like alcohol and it's like, ooh, look at that, like that hit. You can do something like that with tinctures, like liquid smoke. And that's one of the ways you make liquid smoke. It's a type of way that you ferment it with wood with the alcohol in dark. And then you have to change the intelligence, like open it up for 2 days, freeze it halfway, open it up, back up again too. Like that type of thing. Put it in like hot and cold and hot and cold and hot and cold and stuff like that. So that also too is like intelligences, right? Like I didn't know that they could tamper with the intelligence and like get some substance in space and like tie all my intelligences together and like bind some nigga that I don't even know to my intelligence space. So like his intelligence of debilitation, I can't divinate, I can't perform in sports, I'm taking performance drugs and I actually don't know what I'm doing, I just like did this and did that. Like that will now be in your intelligence space because they used a chemical. Your intelligence space is changing the substance of its carbon though. You see, it's changing what even type of carbon gate it deals with. That's done. You don't need to bring any portal down here or nothing for it to work. That's what I'm saying. Instead of it being like a geometric pattern, right? The carbon, you're going to actually get like strands of light in different bundles or kernels that then unfold as it gets to the target. So you don't have to like bring this junction down and, oh, this plant will handle this and this rapid will handle this. That's actually hella fun. I still do that. But these are like ways in which you can handle like straight warfare, like eliminating races of people from the planet. Good. That's done. Specifically on that. It doesn't matter. If they're on this planet, they have to abide by that junction. And I'm changing the substance for that chemical server. It's going to be carbon number 8. So even the kids can hit it up, etc. You don't have to be like, oh, because remember people in the hood? I didn't know that I was like a Seminole and I was here in the 1812 wars. Like, look at this. Okay, I'm going to go all the way up there and visit my house self. Now you can play with these kernels and they just unfold. Right. And that's like one of the things like too, especially for like quick warfare, but they called it because of what they were doing, because somebody saw this chaos with the aquatic being and that sonar fuckery and this noise blasting and my dandelion and my mate's dandelion. Like, what are you doing with this? And now not only do we have a new dandelion for them playing like that, now look what we've brought down here. This dandelion is like a freeform carbon because how they wanted to play with portal functions in our Azraban, because the way that this synthetic telepathy platform is working is through indigenous people that have the ability to perform telepathy. That's a gift. A lot of people spied. That's one of the ways that Angkor Wat was destroyed. They played with one priestess that you see online today, Winnie. They put coriander in one of her foods, but the coriander they had processed with dried pork. And then it got into her Azraban. They spied on all of Angkor Wat and found out where they were in space too to go play with herbs. They all teleported back to their planet. That's what happened to Angkor Wat. Because they're like, oh, they disappeared. That's what happened in Angkor Wat. The ancient Aztec empire, the same thing. It's called mate. It's like some soy that we eat as vegan. They said, oh, this is meat and this is meat. And they got chicken and beef and pork and cooked it up and spiced it up with a certain psychedelic peppercorn. And to hide the fact that this was pork. And what type of thing is this? It's like, it's more chewy though, the texture. Okay. Are you sure? Okay. And that's how you created Inca. That's the first level of Inca, feeding people nonsense. Then using the psychedelic channel to try to cover it because coriander is a psychedelic. So now it's not, it's funny how this is coming out because look at the people that were attacked in between this and look how it fell out in the community, right? So that Azra band is what they're using. It's a few banished bitches. I want to go tie carbon and a few other things from our kids. Oh, we have to make it stronger, 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 but it's been banished or they turned it off. We can get like the memory of the Azra band and like start running it here in time loops. Okay, get the memory of them activating their Azra band with this intelligence, that intelligence, that intelligence. We can hide here and run that for the white on the planet so we can get food in our physical bodies because we're gonna have to go live there one day. They're zapped into their physical bodies. Now that's done. And that's why all these bitches are getting murdered because of what they invoked in space. It's like what they're getting from like several people. People just see their face and you need to die. Ooh. Because they were using the face of the priestess too. Good. So that's what we're going to be doing here now. So we're going to be going through all of that. And then we're going to be going ahead and like, some of you guys have this clicking on your ear, this like nonsense on your ear. You're going to go ahead and change the spiral set and the substance of the spiral that's in the cochlear of your ear that gives birth to different sound crystals so that you can divinate on languages. Like I know exactly what you're saying because I can speak this language. That's how you really like to speak different languages. You don't have to go to different cultures of children, raping, molesting them. So now I can be a polyglot. Hey, Habarigani. Oh, what are you saying? Oh, that's Japanese for hello, how are you? Habarigani is actually like some fake language that they said was like for Kwanzaa. They're so fucking disgusting and delusional. They're getting hit so bad. So you're going to go ahead and do that, right? And this I'm going to teach, I'm going to complete this like planet bodies. Because remember, we used to do the astrology every month. We would do like a different sign and go through a different like aspect of astrology for you guys to learn yourselves. Yes. Now we're going to go through planet bodies and I'm going to go through planet bodies and light warfare. So planet bodies. Oh, I'm down to another notebook. Oh my God. Yeah, speaking of planet bodies, right? And all the constellations, that's another thing too. And I don't think that it's a coincidence that this is coming up after what's been taught in my notebook here. And the way that this actually came out is because I put a specific speech in here. It's the Odinani operator. I put this in my notebook, the Odinani operator, and the brother astrical system. And somebody saw the cover of my notebook and said, "Oh, let's break that too." And this is how the shogunate came out. So we're gonna get the planet bodies, and then we're gonna have light. It's light. The original light, not Lalit in Indian man playing games. You have light, light, like latte. That's a certain type of light. It's light, right? So there's lot, light, late, like Lot, right in the Bible, and then tied with Lot. It's a type of light for a priestess that's like of a specific spiral. So spiral set. Your hair is gonna be like 4C, but really like soft and fine. Right. So where's with the curl pattern and stuff like that? Where's like the outer texture, protein peptides? And this is where we get stripping of protein peptides with perm, but also through factory farm food and vaccines. And then being able to have your hair open to have that light band permeable. That's what those hoes were doing with hidden color people's with perm and shit like that and promoting it in the community by, oh, your hair is not straight enough. You can't work here. Oh, well, you know, the white man, the mister. Oh, well, that's what he's going to require. Yeah, sick bitch. I don't care. Perm, I'm tired of it. Peptides. Perm, proteins, peptides. Okay? So we're going to talk about that with hair. I think that's like a great place to like start off with like a hair care thing for like women that want to, you know, fix improve like their hair outcomes. I did mine. My hair grew 4 inches in like 4 days. You have no idea. Like I was like, okay, let me take do this, do that, put my hair in a spiral. They were watching the space. Cause remember, they put a spell on my hair for it to stop growing, right? So as I was like going through this whole process, I was like, okay, molecular layers, this and this and that. That's why you should never play with my hair or my hair, my rabbit, H-A-R-E, or my hair, H-E-I-R, sometimes with the E, because it's hair, which is your son, or hide hair, your daughter. You shouldn't have played with my hair. You shouldn't have played with my hair, or my hair, or my hair, my twin, mate, harir. It's like harar, harar, yeah, twin. So now this is not where the octopuses start with her fucking schizophrenic ass and tying this one and that one and this can tie to this and it will conjunct and mean this and then this will tie and this is now what you mean with Erklank Laborgia where my hair is my hair and it's tied to my hair and then let's switch this man and this man on the structure and then get them to have sex in their physical bodies or mate with this person, mate with that person and try to switch these up so you can get to a rabbit. Like this is the type of nonsense that they play with in space with an octopus that's like schizophrenic, like, oh, I guess with the freeform substance, that's done for. Done. None of it makes any sense. It's all garbage. So we're gonna get planet bodies. Light, 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 and then there's light. Right? So these are different light, and then yeah, we're all gonna like flesh this out and bring this out, and this is gonna be like lit. So there's planet bodies, right? So now that you guys have upgraded your planet body too, when you upgrade one specific planet body, right? I'm gonna do mine in the chamber. Woo, I need the Akasha for that. I'm gonna have my higher self do it. Yeah, she needs a junction, but I have one portal here, and then she'll need one, two, three. Okay. Your higher self can also bring down certain junctions. Like, okay, okay, cool. Because they said I didn't have access to that one, but my higher self has that one. And this is where people got caught up. Like, oh, why don't I have a higher self? Well, let me go attack three other women that do. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, bitch, you're on some rampage. Yeah, and that's what they're talking about when I'm talking about them playing with magic like that in mass every day for the past 2 years to the point where thousands of kids are like disappearing every fucking day, and everyone's talking about it. Right. So what you're going to do here is you're going to cancel all of this out. You're going to say, oh, not only am I not like playing with this, you're not going to play with me. I have my higher self. I can pull things from over there. Hey, high priestess, I have a farm. Is it possible for my higher self? Because we have a farm up there and we fought in the Nicaraguan, Salvadorian wars, Guatemalan wars. By the way, thank you for stating that. People need to know that we can take everything back, everything. That's why there's no coffee. Ooh, that's why they're going to space, baby. Because they don't got shit. The Akasha's locked because they started too much shit. So yes, you can go ahead and have your higher self just take his hand. Oh, I want this type of like a herb to grow. Look, I grow cilantro, but I want a sweet type of cilantro. That's cute. You can even use that to make drink. Or with the certain type of like fire water, right? You can make a new type of Listerine. Yeah, she's on the same chemical junction as spearmint. Just because it's an aromatic, because spearmint without like without that in it, it's a different type of like sage. She's on that junction too, but cooking sage. They're all on the same junction. So what you guys can go ahead and do, and that's how they knew who was playing in space and bringing who to the planet. Look at the herbs on their planet. Look at McCormick. That's how you're gonna know who got brought down here for slavery and what federation did it, because that's what they're without. Look at the intelligence. They have no idea that there's organization in space. These hoes are very ignorant and stupid. What they fucking showed on this planet, playing with people's children. I'm gonna repeat, you are very fucking stupid trying that with me and trying that with everybody, but everyone had to see it so it ends once and for all. Gang stalking me and thought my life was gonna be like a canvas for you to be playing games with Kamala Harris and other goofy, stupid rat bitches. And look what the fuck you exposed. So now they're on the same junction, right? Meaning that, okay, the crystal reality, the indigenous, the chemical, the aquatic, the cilantro is aquatic, and it's also on the same junction as the sage for being an aquatic, right? But also having a certain type of aromatic, so they're also on the same chemical junction, but they're for a certain type of warfare, so they're in a specific indigenous state as the collective, like intelligence grown on our collective like plant body. It's like collective universal bodies, and then they create universes and planets, and that trickles down into, oh, I have this herb, you have that herb. Look at these 8 different types of coriander, but they're all sisters. Yay! And did they have to have sex with another plant to be created? No. That is nonsense plant propagation. And if you ever fucking draw a hole into a flower and play like that with her leaves and pollen, thank you, I'm watching. So now I keep types of things, and that's how this type of cursing comes down. So now, in bringing shit from space and causing chaos, good. Use that in magic. Use this in magic, that special plant. It's a forever tree, my forever tree. You've heard of it. The leaves fall every day, and then every day it goes right back. And you have like 200 leaves, and there's still hella leaves on this tree. Oh, that's fucking disgusting. Thank you. She wants to go to Brookfield. I have to gift her to another high priestess while we're on our travels. Okay, that's why I'm gonna head up to the bay in a few weeks and just go drop off these plants. Ariane's getting one, and a few other priestesses are getting some, and they have to keep it there for the warfare specific to their place, like organs and what happened with limbs, and then over here for like wishes and what happened with men in their life in jail and shit like that. It's all a part of like creating a specific like geometric like pattern on soil. as well. Like, oh, I moved from here to here to here, and we created these different environments. Ooh, right, thank you. And she will overlap right in the middle. So from LA to here, it's like gone past Fresno. And then from the Bay to down there, it's going to cover all of like moving into Portland, Oregon, past Fresno too. And that's it. And then we're creating like a new environment. And then they will just merge with this carbon database. So just weekly check-ins with the high dimensional team where we see what we need to be building and what needs to come down in order for this to stop. Because it started with spellware, so policy is not going to stop it. That's why all these people talking about work fundraising and we got this person and that person out of office. Do they know it's Daisy doing magic? Black Lives Matter is done. Oh, thank you, Daisy. Hi, I work for the police department. I'm surprised I haven't seen you at any of the police meetings here, police commission meetings. But this magic that you're doing is why people are getting out of office. It's not Black Lives Matter. They get out, they see the cartel killing, and they do their job. I don't know what you guys are fundraising for or writing grants for. It's Daisy because you guys are attacking her. Thank you. And that's the white supremacist police too. They're sending out emails and stuff like that, getting you defunded. Good. Let that come to an end. So that whole reality scape, that's like warfare. You're not doing justice warfare. You're doing, I want to play games, clout chase, find a way to switch people's kids at birth, coming to work with like all kinds of dried medications and crack and shit on my breath and starting too much because I just had sex with my dad. Yeah, no one wants to play with that. Move, 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 move. Thank you. Move that way. So there's a force of physics that we can bring down here too to make that happen and make this realities fall in line. Like I know I'm a high priest and a king or a queen of space. Why isn't that my reality? Because I changed like the substance for the reality space by going into another akasha and just putting that chemical sequence in there. Then going into the perforce space for that substance in another reality. Because realities come forth from each other, right? But these ones are like interdependent. They're independent, but also interdependent. That makes sense. This is organization of the universe. This is God, right? So when people are talking about spirituality and this and this and that, okay, right? This is what you need to like now. This is what you need to pass. This is now the original brown paper bag. It was never that. It's what's your federation? What type of act you got? Oh no, you got that destabilized shit. That means the U.S. was playing games with the high rollers. No, you was playing with the Klan. We don't play with that. That's the original brown bag. Just bring it in your bag. There we go. So now these hoes, we're getting back to sense. Thank you, Daisy. We're getting back to honor and integrity. That's done. You hoes are out of control. So now what's going to happen here? These different types of carbon. Somebody wants to speak. Hi, Daisy. Let me see. Hello, Daisy. It is me, Uncle Jeff Branner. I just wanted to say I've been listening to this. I heard about you online and you were reading the Bible. Daisy, I didn't know that you know how to divinate like that. That's prophecy. Jade, I'm done with you. How dare you speak to somebody like that? Daisy, I want you to come to my church and talk about this type of stuff because I feel like this is important. Pastor Jones, hello, Daisy. I think that that's the same. I've heard about you, Jeff Branner. I think we should connect. My name is Horatio Jones, Family Life Bible Fellowship. Please, let's connect and see what we can do. I've been watching this for a while, and I feel like this is how it's going to come out with the Seminoles and the herbs and all this Southern stuff about this here clunker, because I've been seeing this, but I just don't know how to describe it. Thank you, Daisy, for giving word and license to all this getting exposed. Thank you. That's two high priests now coming together in one environment, and something's going to end in South Central because there's another pastor. Hello, you all. I've been watching you guys for years. I'm from South Central. You guys have heard of my church right here. Thank you. I just wanted to let you know that I wanted to also get involved in this because I heard of a few Seminole high priests that we had a meeting talking about Brandy. But this is the meeting that we needed to have. We don't need to talk about what she did, cock fast, all that nonsense, running in and out of people's trap houses, switching people's crack, switching people's cocaine or coca, natural stuff and weed for crack and heroin and starting wars. This is what we need to talk about. How do we now repair this? That didn't need to be talked about in regards to how serious it is, though. And this is like the background that we need. See, it doesn't matter which way you introduce it, high priestess, and that's what I love about you. It's that we always get to the higher point. It's hyperdimensional, this whole warfare. Thank you. And I'm happy that now these three high priests are going to talk in here, exchange information that's happened so many times before. Okay, so you guys really are meeting. Okay. So see, I knew something was going to end up happening, but it's telepathy. This is how we used to act. Hello, High Priest Pastor Jones. Chukwuemeze, we're having a meeting here about this Uguazana herb and taking too much amala from the collective storehouse. Okay, well, you just know that my wife is with child and they're also doing this amala, making pancake because they're having cravings and playing with this different agbono. And now we have no wakamu because it's not growing here on this place. We moved it to a different planet because of the psychedelic spectrum. So those are the type of things that the way that we used to meet back in the day. Right? So now we're going back to it and why people wanted to play with that in the computer and getting smacked the fuck out. What are you talking about though? Thank you. So now, Daisy, I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you. This is done at the job. It's done at the job. That you can change up, right? Okay, this I won't get karma for weave and stuff like that. You can change the carbon that your body's made out of. Like, oh, I put this on my head, but it won't tamper with me because it's a different type of carbon, the weave. So who knows the akasha? But remember, that hair belongs to somebody else. The akasha is still logging all of that. There's specific strings. I have a drawing of this. There's specific things called tezer strings, like a tesseract. Treasures, like Treasure Amore, that perfume, Treasure. Yeah. It has a specific type of chemical in it. There's strings that can look like this. And one point, this string just connects from one akasha to another, going through different databases. When this looks like this, that means I'm coming from, you created an akasha in universal subset 888 by first spying on a Leo and then trying to perform acts against the Leo. This is what this treasure string is going to look like. So this one act will take over your life because the akasha, from this akasha to your body, this treasure string is carrying certain portal functions and databases and substance and intelligence that will overpower any other akasha. So yeah, I did work in the schools and I was good for a little bit, but I like set him up and I put period blood in his food and his cousin went to jail. So all that went out the door. Okay, I know what it means to be a good person. Let me see if I can like work this off again. Treasure strings. So from your body, from the akasha in 0 point. Right? Because the akasha is like 0 point, like it's like free form, meaning that it just comes from God. Like you can't stop akasha from being created, but you can play with certain substances that akasha can create. And then you can go and say, oh, this is a warfare space, this is a plant space, this is a karma space, and say that its chemical sequence will be here by putting a little realm or portal of carbon and putting the chemical sequence for a plant that carries akasha functions. Like, oh, I'm a plant, but I can make akasha. You can edit this and edit that. It's really for like when your kids are bad and say, you can't use this type of like sugar or whatnot until you clean up your room and stuff like that, right? That's what it's really for. Or, okay, let me make this akasha for on planet Earth because I'm going to let you use like this and that. People don't really know how to do this, but I'll create this akasha so you can just do it. And it's automated. Aha, you have to have an akasha for that and be in the federation or akasha for those plants. So now akasha is freeform. It comes from nothing. So now because akasha comes from nothing, boom, a portal opens here. Oh, I started hell shit with you on the computer. What do you mean I have like 1,148 things logged in my akasha for Daisy and that's why I'm not getting a job? You guys can't be serious. That's what happens when you play too much. I have not seen anything change for the white. I just see more karma. And certain people, these treasure strings turn into fucking light bands. And this is where we get into Japanese Jifatentizer bands. Another drama in Angkor Wat, if we can get her hair and we can shard it, we can cover ourselves in the Empress's hair or her rabbit, her hair, Agora bunny. And then when the karma comes down from the Kukulkana space, the akasha to our body, it will be covered. It will be fractured off. Like, oh, it's not her karma, but it's kind of sort of her. But she was okay and did this in the war and that in the war, and she was friends with Genghis Khan. But is it really you or not? By the time it gets to your body, so many chemical misrights, you get cancer. There's no getting out of karma. There's no escaping. There's a check and balance every fucking where, right? So I have like 6 of these notebooks, and this is why I need to digitize these and get a team helping me like put this out so people can just go learn. Tao Te Ching mirror broke that, changed the substance for what it means to be mates and our DNA, period. So if you have a mate, you guys have shared DNA, that's changed to a whole different substance. You can go find Stephanie and her new 2 for mates. You're not about to stop shit. You're just about to activate a bunch of niggas. That's my mate. Go sit down. I see now. I like it like that. Go sit down, bitch. I don't like you. Like this. So then the portal gets bigger and more akasha form because you try to then use a Empress's hair to then sidestep that. You try to use a baby to sidestep that. You try to use money to sidestep karma. This portal gets bigger. These bands, these light strings, these tether bands turn into tether quacks and tezzeranaraks. Then those tezzeranaraks create uzuwaners, aka spaces. So like any food that you eat goes in this akasha. So then, right? I'm playing games. This is going to be in the planet, but I have to just explain this. I'm playing games starting shit from a little portal that was here in the former picture. Ooh. Right? From a little portal. I'm just right here. This is turning into bigger. Why? Because I'm sidestepping, playing show and tell. It's like a southern thing for like, you ain't telling me the truth. You playing show and tell. Tell me the real. Sidestepping, show me. I'm from the show me state, right? Sidestepping, running your mouth, lying, sly behavior, running and ripping, being a scallywag and starting too much. So that's my grandma's favorite word. You scallywag, right? So then it starts here, right? It starts here. Then it gets bigger, this space. Then instead of these being tether strings, they turn into bands. Like rubber band wrists, like bands, right? Bands from a string to a band in regards to how fast and hard this karma hits you. So then what ends up happening, and this is how people like start shit and like they lose their, like when they come to a certain planet or they come out from hiding, they lose their melanin in an instant because now these bands hit them. That's been done. Somebody was covering them and coating them in a substance. They couldn't take that on in their molecular layer. They were just coated. Ooh, that's done now. That's over. They're playing with children. What we have is going beyond them, and you have to actually have certain bodies in certain junction points, and then you have to make certain conjunctions. Like Ebo is like force of physics and chemical warfare, right? So like let's say for instance, oh, I'm Ebo. That's force of physics and chemical warfare, like divination markings, and look how smooth they are and stuff like that, right? Look at our Odinani markings. So that's like gives me Odinani, right? Plant warfare and that. Now, what I can also say is like, oh, in order to open up this right here, I need a crystal body. Thank God I'm a Kame'in, or thank God like I helped that certain federation, the Pashtuns. Oh, they invited me to the federation. So now, hey, I can create like, oh, thank you so much. Like high priestess, I tutored your son and you put me in the Akasha and said that you will always like be able to come to be in my part of my family, Pashtun, for helping. So I can take this crystal speech, right? Like, okay, speech, and I have a body. Oh, hella dope. And now I can know how to make Kabil. Now I know how to make certain psychedelic Kabil. It's just saffron and turmeric with a little bit of black pepper. And then you can like make a type of psychedelic Kabil with the yogurt and stuff like that, because the cucumber also activates it in the aquatic body, because cucumbers are aquatic, you see. And then because I had that crystal from the Pashtuns, I can go in my Odinani body and say, hey, I want to make this like new like sets of hash. Oh, okay, dope. So you're gonna get that teskite, you're gonna get this certain type of like spice. There's 3 at the Afghan market that are gonna make a smashing fucking hash. And then you're gonna be able to make these type of hashes, because you need crystals for some physics, and then also like the Odinani to carry the chemistry. And that's how you like do stuff like that. You be a good person, not a rat bitch playing hell games on people's computers, starting shit, talking about maybe we can put him in that Abelgar group. He don't want to date me. That's how you get shot in your fucking face and end up in the duat. So then these turn into bands, right? Right? And then now what ends up happening is this turns into a band, and these bands are like flowing things into your body. But let's say you want to keep on playing, you got kids, then this turns into a space. So from this portal that holds Akasha, this starts to form bands and Kuzuwaner spaces. I'm the space that impacts how geometry affects your body. The Dutuwaner space. I'm the space that impacts how the smell of phytochemicals impact your body, and then your divination. I'm the space that shows how a phytochemical will impact this organ or that organ or your divination. And that dictates how you can take psychedelics. White people are getting cut off from all that. There's no need for maps or no need for shrooms or nothing like that. Go sit down and go play with white supremacy. Good. Because we're tampering with the space too. And like there's a chemical that they were playing with in a server so they can get high and shit like that. And causing hella drama. They just allowed it so that they can like poison their plants and like separate the whole entire game. You've been getting shit from them for years. That's all the bammer. This is good stuff. Are you sure this is weed? You see what I'm talking about? We grow our shit good. That's why I don't sell out and give to people. We only have it locally. And I only do that to catch people who are robbing. Oh, he got some good shit. Let's go over there. I only use that to bring out the rats every 5 years, so I can see who's mating, who's playing games, and how these honeybees have been merging in different bloodlines. You have no idea, right? So from there now we see, okay, so then anything I eat with these spaces, because these start forming spaces like, okay, this is what you need to survive. I will create an army around you where you cannot escape this Akasha. Anything we eat can be used against you. Anybody that you sleep with, it can be used against you. Because I'm susceptible to any type of like a geometric warfare, which is a chemical warfare, really. Thank you. And that's why you need to stop fucking on your clunkless. A lot of you guys want to go play with those clunkless, like, oh, she doesn't have a uterus, that's okay. You have no idea, and she's sleeping with her daddy, and you dipped up in that. You're under so many levels of Kukulzwana around her. That's done for. They had to open up new portals for like spaces to come down. And that from the hood, so I'm gonna go fuck on her. And then I have spiritual powers from their family. You opened so many Zugugwana spaces. Demons actually carry them and hold them, like the substance. To open those spaces, demons. When these open too many times because of Akasha, blam, a demon will come through. Boom, another space opens with another type of band. For me having to come down here and you're still playing, this is where we get Daili. They're in this band. Irklankla, they're here. Irklankla and Daili are here. Where demon has to carry this. And then a federation, a legion of demons that carry bodies and armies and soldiers. Oh, okay. We're just moving from place to place. I didn't know that it was this many wars. I haven't seen you guys since like the 1700s. We were just working. That type of thing comes down. Legion, principalities, then a specific demon that principality runs to carry the Zua in our space. And then the guys in our space that carries this, they create. They are created at the same, they're co-created. She just waits and watches because the substance that creates her is here in this escaping the Akasha. So now all you hoes that are playing games, now come out here. So now I see why I don't. Okay, so now I see why we're doing this in the first place. We tried to help you. These calico hoes, they got you guys hyped up to play with me and sit in the computer. That bitch has a mustache. She looks fucking stupid talking about she's gonna go play with emo tip at the FBI. She went down there, somebody saw her and said, I'm so sorry, what? And she walked out like, oh, okay. Hella disgusting. Good, that's done for. So I just have to tell you guys what came out of that. Just from like one flick of the wrist playing with the calculator. All you hoes are gonna die. Perfect. I'm gonna put something so sickening on you. Your whole fucking reality is going to be inverted so badly. That's not even my flower. They were like trying to like change it to be this substance and play games. It was just like, I don't know, like who's playing games with Vivi Kandwainai, especially with and like playing with black women. It's really about to get the force of physics for reproduction. You can have a flower in your pussy and stuff like that, like young girls, but to then get pregnant and stuff like that, you need a specific spiral. And that's what they were playing with, a specific like freeform spiral. Like, oh, this can do anything though, but look how their children come out malformed, because the spiral then creates the fetus in the uterus, right? It then creates the fetus, right? That then forms color, mate, etc. But my flower comes from like a set of flowers. She's freeform, so I that spiral to add like another spiral to my flower and get 3 different type of scents. No, if you process it cold, process it hot, then you press this for oil, you get 3 different smells. That's a really dope thing. And this is where we get into deeper. I'm talking about my daughter Nasancia going back and forth starting all shit, and this kid's playing with illicit flowers. So now we get Delix or, oh, mom, my mom has this type of treat. I like this type of sweet cocoa, but she said that we can't have it. We'll get addicted. Or look at this special tofu, right? They hid it for all the aquatic beings because people were going from planet to planet trying to steal it for the pale one. So we can get this spiral and put it here for or I can get and have a white woman's like vagina like able to like reproduce and carry a child to 8 or 9 months, but they're still malformed. You just get the physical form, but you're still malformed. And this is where we get hyperdimensional reality. And that's how you can tell who's a Martian, who's an alien. Created here for me. It's like my life is gonna end up being like proper, like some type of thing like that. If I have a life here, it's gonna be proper because of my Orguazunai species as a high priest or priest. It's like, okay, just like happened like that. And look, they can't break that coding. So these are different things. They brought it from space, but the way that she works too is capturing and making a shape around something toxic, and then her one leaf and another leaf act as like a cocoon, and they hold something up, bind it within that molecular layer, and then get rid of it, triage it by like a cocoon, like of a butterfly, breaking. Let me go ahead and take this chemical that you're throwing and put it in a database, and I can actually like start my own beauty company, because now look, I have free form carbon because I have a spell I can put on that database. Now I have something, I can grow my own coca. Okay, look at this cannabis. Like, it's not the same one that we got, but it's like a little bit the same. It's from a different farm. I could put a spiral on it. It can get us that good shit though, or it can get me like beyond. They don't have a name for that. But I need a spiral on my cannabinoid receptor so I can like play with this, because it got closed down for what they did with the Seminoles. They shut down weed on the planet. You need a specific type of cannabinoid set. And this is where we get with chemical warfare playing with whites. So then carbon. I'm like, you guys have seen this yellow flower that's upside down, sleep warfare. I can actually change the carbon of my or debilitate the carbon of a dream state or sleep state. So in the dream state, they were copying it and trying to like put people alive there. So, oh, when I go to sleep, I'm like on the shot. You can debilitate their dream state so that doesn't even happen. It can't reach you because you're like in a whole different like talking about. That's like saying like I'm aquatic, people having a bunch of illnesses because we're aquatic, and they're not going to ever talk about that. And that's why the medical system is about to get overhauled. So the first thing I did with this was I made a specific database, right? Check the of your dreams, because sometimes you try to put the dream state when you're awake and then say, oh, we're going to tie this reality scape and have a dream, like have some type of simulation running in a false dream state that is yours or not yours or your child, or they tie it together with treasure bands or light strings or a black woman's hair or a rabbit, and then they say, look at this fake space here, Handmaid's Tale or whatever. Now I'm going to make this your reality in the dream state, but then I'm going to make it in your waking state with more magic. And that's how they were putting hella people in jail for years and like having like chaos in the hood where like Zorzai niggas were getting killed left to right. That's a false reality. That's now done. And this is the same exact thing that I'm going to do, where all Yvonne or Yvonne Strahovski and Elizabeth and all these souls that were playing games, all that's going to be your reality, Handmaid's Tale and shit like that, because you want to play with a spell word. So you better be careful, like trying to craft shit, bitch, and you have no idea what you're talking about. What is that? This is a number sequence held by a serpent. Oh, I didn't even know what that was. Oh, like I thought we like had like support. I didn't really mean like what I was saying. You sound fucking stupid. All these bitches owe me karma. I own their Akasha. That's why they're mad. Yes, all these holes I went to go play, I own their Akasha. That's why they're mad. That's why they're mad. I own their Akasha because they were starting hella shit. Good, good. So we're gonna. I made like a specific like a automated system for kids, chemo and shit like that, and then I'm changing their carbon, changing the carbon set that they're in for their body. It's going to a whole different set. Then from there, anytime you give them those pills or stuff like that, they should get better just with that because they're gonna revive all their organs and stuff like that. From there, what happens though is they're gonna have all that medicine in their body. They take what's necessary. This carbon opens up a portal and says, "Oh, all this nonsense in icky stuff, I'm gonna put this in a database to the side. You can have more than enough information to lie and start shit." Do this on YouTube. Oh, you know what you're doing. That's why you're getting fired. Did you notice something about your hours? Hey, we don't need you on the floor today. Thank you. Make sure you don't like put any time cards in or anything like that. Did you notice that? Okay, good. So this is going to destroy the medical industry because then those kids can reverse all that. Then their families that were impacted can take that and say, let's make this free from we have our own farm, shit like that. Not for the ones that were purposely their kids testing, make our daughter sick, get next to this man. I can talk about sex rituals and maybe then we can be rich again after robbing everyone. That's not what you do. For people that suffered and stuff like that, I can use this freeform substance to run a crazy magic and get my mom her papers in 2 days. Then we can get like a better doctor and stuff like that because then she can advocate and do this and do that. There you go. Stuff like that. So then we can go ahead and we move all the chemicals that are like fucked off to. You're going to take this, the worst part of this. But all the good stuff, the dimethyls, trimethyls, just maybe the phytochemical and then the speech, we take that or the substance of the carrier. Like sometimes they put like carbon or something as like the carrying, right? What's the powder they use to carry? Some people use baking soda, this and this and that. Some people use like chalking powder. Like you this we can use this and say it's coca, right? Stuff like that. Which Brenda's baby daddy did, and that's why everyone's chasing the cartel. He lives here at 832 South Alfred Street. It's not me, man. It's not me. As for giving out addresses, and he can't do anything. You're fine. Thank you. She can get her papers back too. Thank you, Brenda. Yeah, process her like application. Okay, yeah, she did, and she went to go tell. She tried to go get help, and that's why this is a big ass thing war right now because of Sufape, and that's then she's gonna get hit with this because of how somebody's daughter was kidnapped, and how somebody ended up. Unfortunately, she's gonna be under every type of chemical warfare for playing like that. So we'll spy match and shit like that. So body Akasha, well, if I do this, I do that, then I'm gonna get this Akasha, that Akasha. You will. You do this, you do that. Daisy owns all your Akasha. She owns all your Akasha. You lost every single gift, every single thing. Her moms died in Indonesia because of you playing like that. Because of what you're doing with different families, starting shit, lying, playing on the phone, causing drama at victim of a crime. 2 other females, there's a black lady, 3 farms died in the South, Midwest. It's like Missouri area. Nah, Oklahoma, like on the border. It's like a tri-area. Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma, Kentucky isn't in that. Because you guys went to go play. Your family like lost everything. And that's what we talk about, where you accumulate karma so deep. Thank you. And you accumulate karma so wild. This is why I say I can't get into the body. Can you like tie this to somebody else I'm related to? That's why these bitches get into bloodlines. Jade Branner. Okay, they have good karma. I'll distribute the karma there, and then maybe I can get like out of this honey thing and get into like a normal body that's maybe just deactivated in melanin. Maybe I'll just be quiet after that. Because this life, no, I didn't plan to live like past 30 in this life, in this body. I just plan to like get to like this point, and then maybe like I can reincarnate again in another body that I had, but they broke that octopus. Okay, so maybe I'll just go sit down in space. This is where you get where this gets so big that it starts trickling over into bloodlines and children and stuff like that, right? And then the environment, like it comes to your coworkers and stuff like that, just because of your mind. And hey, we got defunded because of you, and then you ruin everyone else's life. Like, oh, it's okay, I can find another job. I think I'm cool, but like I have a family too. You should have told us that you were doing that with the endowment before we got defunded and blacklisted. I lost my legal license. I didn't know because you were hiding the letters from us when they were coming to the job. They called me on my husband's cell phone. Ooh, she think I'm cute. She wanna have sex. Girl, knock it off. Be at work starting shit. You have no mate. Your pussy fell out. Your family attracted rapists and murderers because of what we had to deal with in our relationship. You attracted spy magic so vicious. I know what you're doing. I know when you're moving. You just stood up and digitized because of what you went to go play with. You know, your whole Akasha. That was just showing people what they were doing with the endowment. So you want to go play with Martha? Don't worry, you guys. She's just over exaggerated They have now something else is going to get turned off. So now you guys are gonna go ahead and work that. Now we're gonna turn all this off. There's about 3 more incidences of this where you guys are gonna see something playing in front of you, and then you're gonna see it's from space. And you guys are gonna see it. I'm gonna say it. It's gonna be in the media all at once. Earclonkles at Borgia, because what is happening now is we have reserves for 1, 2, 3, 4 flight reserves. But when we go on those flights and we come back, we're bringing back people that are getting their body back, and then we're also going to be getting people that getting more supplies like cremation oil, different herbs and stuff like that. I have like a few like requirements as well. And the octopus that just wants to come hang out with her sister. A few rabbits are on their way because they want to be with their companions. A few high priests like the Jindos and stuff, like they lost their mate. High priest died 3 years ago. Right? So you have to understand these Kwakatazi, they're more important than this in a lot of places. High Priestess, you're the great Empress Rabbit. Thank you so much for seeing us. Hello, Ikasane. I've been busy, but I have cursing herself. One rabbit destroyed all of Memphis. They have nothing. Everyone is dying. One high priest, you guys put him in spy magic, that destroyed all of Kansas. 4 companies left there. We don't need your farms anymore. We're going to move because there's going to be war and blood here because of what you guys did. Thank you. We got backstock. That's fine. We can pickle and jam this, all this stuff. That's over. You guys are all getting fired playing games like that. One time. All I need is one mic. Yeah, that's true. All you need is one microphone trying to play with my ear, one computer program, one word in my ear. That's all it takes. Playing with the high priestess and that Azra band. That's some of the most lethal magic, and they know. That's why they said, let's do this. Okay, we didn't know how far it was going to go once they opened it, though. That's why they got like favor. And like, okay, not favor. Like, okay, it's not really their fault. All it took was one word from a white man or woman into my ear through my Azra band. That was it. Let alone that Earclonkla having sex with its sister. After playing with my photos, that's all it took. One person playing with my privacy, aka my electrical and metal and air intelligence, playing on my phone, spreading naked photos. All it took was one to open up a gate so vicious. That nigga got 3 clones. He got smacked out. So as they're going to be taking those hoes back to space, we're going to be bringing motherfuckers, and then we'll get more gas, and then we can do like a whole fleet of SpaceX and NASA back, leave. And that's just if, that's only if, right? The teleportation shot. But some people need to get bussed back. You need to see them leaving space, their families. These are the original ones. Oh my God, right? Right. And landing on Mars. Some people need to get teleported and just leaving. So that's like what's happening now because some people need to see it. And that's like another reality bringing it up. Now you have to see it. Like the spiritual reality, people have to see it. The divination with the Bible, people have to see it. They have to, right? And then we have like our seminal herbs, which is what they're looking for this list to go play. Like, oh, how do you pronounce this though? You're a sick, disgusting white man sticking his dick in people's kids talking about seminal rights so you can play with Coca game. I'm telling you, don't worry about it. Gavin, I don't know. Just don't worry about it. I've dealt with things like this before. Okay, you're playing with a bunch of people of color in space and you're about to get smacked out. You saw me play with the calculator and it shut down 3 governments. 4 people just got removed from office. 6 officers just got murdered. 4 bitches just got kidnapped. Brandy got a death threat so severe she's taking her YouTube channel down. You guys need to be careful. Thank you.